Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another workout where you can start easing back into things. Really all we're going to need for equipment today is a band. I am also going to use a chair. I recommend a lot of times to use your kitchen counter or your bathroom counter if you've got space in there. But it's a really great height and a place to hang on where your sink is. But you can also use a chair or like a treadmill, things like that, where you've got a sturdy spot to move and hang on. So we're going to start with some countertop push-ups. Now I don't have a countertop in here, but I can use my treadmill, which works really great because I can use it like that, or I can use a sturdy chair. Like I said, your sink works really great. You can link your hands right over the sink and we'll do push-ups like that. So the wonderful thing about countertop, or you could even do it against a wall, but a countertop is a little easier, is the closer you have your feet, the easier it is. The further you have your feet out, notice my angle increases a little, then it can increase that difficulty a little bit. You can even turn it around and use the seat of the chair, but we're kind of working, easing back into things here. So use your kitchen counter to do push-ups. So we'll do 1, 2, and you can, if you're using a chair, you can, it's not quite as easy on a chair because it may move. Make sure you're using a sturdy chair and it's either pushed up against a wall or like here, I've got mine on carpet so it's not moving anywhere. 9 and 10. Good. So importantly, you want to keep your hands, like if you're doing them on the floor, you want your hands directly beneath your shoulders. And same thing here. So you're not trying to do them here, you know, you're way up here. You still want to be hands like beneath your shoulders if you were to be in that plane. Okay, so countertop push-ups to start. Now we're going to stay at that countertop and do some hamstring curls. So we're just going to engage those hamstrings. And you can just stand right next to it like this. What I want you to do is keep your knees together, or you can stand up with the side. And you're just going to curl. You're going to bend your knee, and that is it. You're bending your knee slowly. So hanging on to here will help you balance, and also if you're having to put you're putting a lot of weight and stabilization on this hip. So standing and holding on to something if you need can help you not put as much weight on that hip if it's not stable or if it's hurting. All you're doing is slowly bending and straightening that leg. Now, if you're at home and you are wanting a little bit more of a workout, you can put either a band around your ankle and then pull against the band, or you can put an ankle weight around your ankle and pull against that. But I'm just showing you how to ease back into things. Of course, we can always make it harder. 4, 5, only bending your knee. So everything else is staying straight and stable. 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you do happen to start getting a hamstring cramp, straighten out your leg like this and try to give it a good stretch. Okay, so push-ups, hamstring curls. Now we're going to go to the floor, or of course you can do this on your bed. If getting up and down off the floor is hard for you. We're going to lie down on your side. And a week or so ago we did clamshells. Now you want your head in line with the rest of your spine. So either use a pillow or your elbow here. You want your hips stacked, your shoulders stacked, and you're bringing your feet up towards your hips. Now instead of doing the clamshells like we did last week, we're doing an opposite clamshell. So you're lifting that ankle, keeping your knees together. So this works a little bit different muscles. We're working your glutes, of course, but then we're working some internal rotators as well. 5. Keeping those hips stacked, keeping your shoulders stacked. 9 and 10. Good. Good. So then you just switch over to the other side. I'm going to turn so that I can continue to face the camera. So keeping those, when you're down like this, all you're gonna wanna do is just bend your knees and bring your heels towards your hips. So you don't wanna be way up here, and you also don't wanna be way down here. So kind of in the middle. And then we'll lift up that ankle, keeping those knees together. 4, nice and slowly, 5. Of course, you can add a band to this if you're to that point. I would start with a light band, but if you're just getting back into this, please just use body weight. It's going to work. Those muscles, you will feel them. 9 and 10. Okay, now if you are on the ground, make sure you get up slowly so you don't get lightheaded. We're going to stand up and use that chair or that counter again. So we'll bring this back over. I'm going to bring my camera back up. And we're going to do standing hip extension. So standing and holding on to that counter or that chair or whatever you have. I'm going to bring this up a little high. Something sturdy to hang on to. And we're going to do a hip extension. So this time, instead of bending your knee stays straight, and you just move your hip back, your foot backwards just a little ways. Now notice, I'm not really going much past the length of my foot, where my heel is. If you need to, if you're finding that you don't have a lot of space, I don't want you to hike your hip up to do this. So sometimes standing on a little bit of something, either on the edge of a stair or, if you have a balance pad at home or something like that, you can stand on the edge of your balance pad. We're not trying to balance here. We're just trying to make room for your foot to move back and forth. Now, I don't want you going way back here. Your torso should stay tall, and you're just coming back a little way. So there's kind of a natural end range. You really want to squeeze under that glute. 4, 5. It's a small range of motion. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Okay, so that first one we did really worked your hamstring, and then this one really works your glutes. Okay, then we're going to do a sit to stand. So sometimes starting with this one, if your bed is a little bit higher, it's a really good place actually to start. So you could start on a little bit higher surface. Lots of times, our beds are just naturally a little bit higher. So if you happen to have one of those and this is hard for you, start in your bed or start in an armed chair if you have one. A kitchen chair is really good. And if you need to, what you could do is bring your kitchen chair over to your sink and then stand up using the kitchen sink if you need to, if you need that extra little bit. The only thing I would suggest for that is make sure either someone is there with you to stand behind you and make sure that chair doesn't move because in the kitchen it can slide. If you don't need that extra pull as far as your kitchen sink or wherever you might be standing, then move your sturdy chair maybe against a wall so that every time you stand up it's not going to move a little bit, or do it on carpet like I am. So it's not going to move out from underneath me. If you need to use your hands, that's okay to push up, but that's something to work towards, is not using your hands. Sometimes pushing up off your thighs a little bit can help you, just give you a little poop boost, but again, work towards not using those hands. And one more thing to think about is staggering your feet. So you want to come to the edge of your chair. It's hard to stand up from way at the back of the chair. So move towards the front of the chair, and then you can stagger your feet a little bit. So that helps you shift your weight from back here to up here. So you can play with that and see how it feels, see what feels better, see what works better for you. And those sit-to-stands are great. They're a really good quad workout with good form for a squat. Okay, Good, so the last one we're gonna do a triceps extension, so we'll get your arms involved again. And I have a couple different ways that you can do this. So I have my bands just tied up here around the edge of my treadmill. If you have a little bit higher something that you can put them through, that works great because the motion is this. So pulling from up to down. But you can do it if you don't have a higher place. I put these here so I could show you. So even just having them here and then pulling down straight is a great way to work those triceps. So I'm only going from 90 degrees here and then straight, but that's okay. It doesn't, you know, it's not like a super full range of motion, but it's still working those triceps. There's Tubby there. Hi, Tubby. Hi, baby. And then one other way, I have my other bands set up over here. I have a tube set up a little bit higher. So if you do have a higher surface that you can pull down from, then you can use that. And here comes Baloo. Hi, Baloo. So then you can get a little bit fuller range of motion. So you want to bend your elbows and then straighten them all the way down beside your hips. Keeping those shoulders down, away from your ears, regardless of how you're doing it. Okay, so just press down. You're really just working that muscle in the back of your arm. And that's it. So if you're just getting back into these, try them once through, so see how you feel. You're welcome to do them 2 to 3 times. If you need to make them more of a workout, you know that you can do push-ups on the ground. You can add weight to your hamstring curls. You can add bands to your clamshells. You can add even bands to your hip extension. And sit-to-stands, you can add weight. You can, you know, have a med ball in your hand, or you could just do squats. And this triceps extension is great anyway. But you could also do it standing on one leg or with a tandem stance, things like that. So there's always ways to increase these, but I really want to give you like the kind of entry level, let's just get moving again, and then you can build from there. Thank you, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.